It's been 10 months since we uploaded our timeline video for fall 2024, which was last year. Till date, it remains one of our most popular videos in terms of views, and thousands of students have benefited from the timeline. Now, when you're applying to a master's program, timing and strategy is everything. And this video, where you'll be spending about 5 or 6 minutes, can change the entire game for you and could be the difference between you making it to a top-notch university or an average one. So, if you want some valuable information on the fall 2025 timeline, stay tuned. I am Srikar Sanappa Reddy. I am the co-founder of Gradvine and I am a Dartmouth grad myself. Over the last 7 years, Gradvine has helped thousands of candidates to the finest universities all over the world, with 98% of our students making it to a top 50 university for their program. And pretty much all of them followed this timeline. Now, before I dive into the timeline, let me tell you what a fall intake means. Now, if you are an aspirant hoping to start university in the fall of 2025, that means you'll be starting your university education in August or September of 2025. Fall is the most common traditional opening of the academic year for US institutions, just like schools open in the months of June or July this year. Pretty much every university and program will have a fall intake. Therefore, now you must be aware of how important the fall 2025 timeline is. Diving straight into the timeline, if you want to start college in August or September of 2025, your process will start more than a year and a half in advance. January 2024 is when you have to start preparing for the entrance exams for these universities, which is typically the GRE. The GRE takes about 2.5 to 3 months to prepare, even in the most difficult of times. Now, I've seen candidates crack a grade score in about 15 or 20 days, and I've seen candidates crack scores in about 1.5 to 2 months as well. But about 3 months is the maximum time you will require. If you start preparation in January of 2024, then you'll be in a good place to give your first attempt of the GRE in April of 2024. Now, why I say April of 2024 is a first attempt is because I strongly encourage multiple attempts of the GRE, because the universities don't care how many times you give it and only your highest score will be considered. So give yourself the best chance by giving multiple attempts of the GRE. If you give an attempt in April 2024, you can explore giving a second attempt in July. Now, whether you give 2 attempts, 3 attempts, whether you give it in July or whether you give it in June, it doesn't matter, as long as you're done with the final attempt of your GRE by August of 2024. By Independence Day 2024, 15th of August, be independent of the GRE, because you have a lot of work that's going to follow. August of 2024 is a very, very crucial month because of multiple reasons, and here they are. August 2024 or August of any year is usually the time when applications for the next fall open up. This is a good time for you to start filling out your applications and start listing down the application requirements such as SOPs, additional essays, recommendation letters, etc. August is also a good time for you to reach out to your professors and inform them that they have to upload recommendation letters in due course of time. In August, you should also reach out to the academic cell of your university and get hold of your transcripts. Therefore, you are understanding how important August is and how you need to finish the burdensome GRE exam by August, because there's a lot of work left to do. Alright, so I'm going to pause the timeline right now to give you a bonus tip. I see students making a big mistake by wasting the time from April to August not doing anything else except GRE prep. This is a great time for you to start working on your university shortlist with the right mentors or by doing your own research. Understand that the GRE, while important, is not the most important part of your application process and your profile. The kinds of universities you will get into depend far more on your GPA, your internships, your projects, or your work experience. Therefore, you can get a very reliable shortlist done if you spend time doing research well before the GRE. You can also leverage this preliminary list you prepared to report your GRE scores to 4 universities for free after the exam. Therefore, getting a solid idea of the universities you want to apply to is very, very important, and you need to start this work in the months of April to August and spend as much time on it. Just with this tip, I saved you over $100 because you can report your scores for free to the universities you'll definitely apply to with a good list ready. If you need assistance with your shortlist, reach out to us by clicking on the link in the description. Alright, let's continue with the timeline now. Now, if you have to prepare your application materials, which is your recommendation letters, your statement of purpose, your additional essays, your resume, and any other smaller information you need to fill in the application, you will need around 2 months' time. 2 months is a good time frame to set for you to finish all these materials comfortably. Therefore, you will be spending August to September and September till the middle of October to finish your application materials. Now, there are a few outliers and universities and programs which may have an October 15th deadline, but these are very, very few. If some university in your list has this deadline, then tweak your timeline accordingly. But for a majority of the cases, your deadlines are going to be in the months of November, December, and January, usually in the middle of the month. Now, here is one big tip, and if there's one takeaway from this video, please take this. Irrespective of your deadline being in December or January or February, make sure you submit all your applications by the first week of November. Now, even though some universities state that they will only review applications after the deadline, we know reliably that universities are reviewing applications internally as and when they come, and they keep your application in 3 piles, yes, no, or maybe. If you apply early before the competition and your profile is deemed decent enough, maybe you will be put into the yes pile. And if somebody who's applying with a stronger profile later on comes along, your position in the application acceptance will not change. However, if you apply 1 or 2 days before the deadline, then at that point, pretty much every other aspirant may have applied, and therefore there is going to be competition and minor comparison in your application. This is not a situation you want to be in. We've reliably seen very similar profiles get accepted if they apply early and get rejected if they've applied later on in the application cycle. Overall, you have a 10 to 15% greater chance of making it to your university if you apply early. So therefore, irrespective of the university deadline, your internal deadline should be November 1st. Alright, now that you've finished applying, let's talk a little bit about what you can expect. Most universities, which are top tier, have their deadlines in January, February, and March. And these are only the round 1 deadlines that I'm talking about. Irrespective of when you apply, you'll start hearing back from universities towards the end of December and the early part of January, with the majority of your decisions coming in by the middle of March. After that, you can take your pick and go to your dream university. So that was the fall 2025 timeline. Of course, there's a lot of nuance to this process, and we break each phase down in great detail in this playlist that I've tagged above. If you found this content useful, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We are incredibly close to 10,000 subscribers, and we'd greatly appreciate your assistance in getting there. Please make sure you drop a like on this video because that pushes us up in the YouTube algorithm, and more of your friends can benefit from this video. All the best for your application journey, and stay in touch with us because we will be your biggest asset in this journey without doubt.